Okay, this relates to all the positions for the exercises here. So the exercise sequence is organized into 3 sections. Within each section, there are repeating groups of exercise patterns. We're going to do rising, ascending, rising, descending, falling, descending, and falling, ascending. And I've described what those terms mean in some of my previous videos. Okay, so the 3 exercise sections. Number 1 is scales and melodic cells. We have 2 scales we're trying to cover. Each position will have one. It'll be the Ionian or the Aeolian. And we're going to work on the standard 7-note scale, the basic scale itself, and then we have 4 melodic cells using notes from the 7-note scale. And then we go right into the pentatonic, just a 5-note scale. So we're just playing 5 notes, taking out 2, and we're going to play the basic scale, and we've got 8 melodic cells that we use using the pentatonic scale. Okay, the second exercise section is intervals, and we're doing thirds, fourths, fifths, and sixths. And again, we're doing all these exercises are using the rising, ascending, rising, descending, falling, descending, and falling, ascending. So each one of these things, each one of these exercises that are going in this list here, you're going to be doing them like 4 times, but they're slightly different, just to give you more facility with playing the notes all over the place on the harmonica. Okay, then the third 3 exercises is the triads, and we're doing root position. And I think I've explained in some prior videos that there's 6 patterns in each of these inversions of the triad. So in the root position, there's 6 patterns of the 3 notes. And we're doing first inversion, again, with the 6 patterns of the 3 notes. And and then when we start going into the inversions, it starts getting interesting about like some melodic cells that you can play with the 3 notes. I think first inversion is particularly interesting. And second inversion, we're playing the 6 patterns of the 3 notes, and we have 5 melodic cells of the 3 notes. They're slightly different. The melodic cells from the first inversion, sometimes they don't translate to the second inversion, but other ones seem to feel better, fit better, play better in second inversion. So that there's differences between the cells between the 2 inversions there. So at first, it took me, after I took the time to figure out what I wanted to play in all these different scales and intervals and triads, and just trying to get as efficient as possible. It took me nearly 2 hours to get through all of these exercises for one position. I practiced 1 position per day at least. Sometimes I did 2, at least 5 days per week. And within a couple of months, I was able to complete them in about 40 minutes. Pretty good improvement. So after improving to the 40-minute completion time, I added a few more exercises just to get the practice time up to around an hour. So I took the melodic cells and I started combining them into like longer phrases. And actually, when I was doing those, I was trying to do strict timing. These were kind of difficult, so these were really good addition. And then I started feeling confident enough of just like improvising over a backing track. And so I want you to be aware that that the entire exercise sequence is not displayed on the screen. This is because it's probably not necessary, because the legato tuning is consistent between all the octaves. And well, with the exception of the 12th hole, but that's really not a major factor while you're playing or trying to learn. So how do you use the exercise diagrams? Well, that's what they look like right there, and they're pretty consistent. They show the DM48 diagram at the top, and then describes what the exercise is. and it kind of tells you how to configure and tune your DM48 as well. So it gives you some metadata there in case you want to just set yourself up. So what you should do is you should be playing the portion of the exercise as displayed in the slide. Just in this case, it'd be these three sequences of notes, right? And again, as I said, observe the numeric scale degree sequences and the number of steps taken to get to each successive note in the exercise. And after learning to play the small portion, try to play the same pattern at the next appropriate starting note for the pattern. And yep, the red arrow between the sequences is your guide for